Welcome to Street Savvy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jay Works, the host, the man that knows the most, the man that wear the most merchandise. That stands for PD Code Sportswear and Apparel, ladies and gentlemen. We got a great show for you this afternoon, a real live podcast on YouTube TV, Facebook Live, and definitely my TikTokers are tuning in. I want to let you folks know something huge is brewing in my body and my soul. I'm going to vote, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in a long time. Let me get this straight. Before I start this program out, I've been telling you folks, periodically, methodically, I'm not voting on either character. Either candidate, I've been telling you, America, I'm not going to vote for. I've been telling you that. I've been steadfast on that, and I gave you my reasons. But I done came to a conclusion. What's going on in this country today is stuff that we don't understand and we need to. But we got to pick a leading candidate, not just for our city, not just for our state, and not just for our country as a whole, but for our people as one, as a unity, as a unified country, as a unified partnership. Across the aisle, Republicans and Democrats alike, I'm voting for that. I'm voting because my mouth has a following, not just a like or a share. I'm voting because generational wealth matters to my heart, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my hand on my heart. Hope to God I die. Press the soul button when I leave here and turn up and kiss it later. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm voting. I'm voting, folks. And before this week out, you gonna know who I'm voting on and what I'm voting for. Okay, all that news and greater news on this program today. I have a deeper question, a deep-rooted question for my American people. A young lady see me in the bar, and she said, Jay Works, I would love to be on your podcast. I have something to talk about. I said, what's up? Talk to me. Because everybody always tell me they want to be in a great podcast that you made great, that you made #1 in New York State, Street Savvy, my folks, my ladies and gentlemen. And she said, and she was a responsible adult, early 30s, mid-30s. She says, Mr. Works, how come we can go fight a war responsibly at the age 19 or 18, 19, 20, and 21, but we can't buy a drink responsibly at the age 18, 19, 20. And I have a question for her. And I don't. I have an answer, excuse me. I have an answer and I don't. I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't believe in it. Hypothetically, I think if you can fight a war, if you get a real job at 18, 19, and 20, and 21, you should be able to buy responsibly alcohol beverage. And look at it as that. If you have a responsible ID, why can't you buy responsible alcohol beverage? That's a huge question on all of our minds, our grandparents' minds, everybody's minds alike. I don't know if America laws got it twisted or we just bipolar and ignorant as people. But it's something somebody got to have an answer for these young men and women who's fighting these wars, losing their lives, but can't come home after an overseas battle or religious war, whatever have you, and can't buy a responsible alcohol beverage for themselves. That is ludicrous to me. And I think we got to rethink that law and that bill. And understand, a lot of drunk drivers going on between teenagers and this and that. That's people who's not responsible as a young adult. But I'm pretty sure for the 5 young adults or the 100 young adults or the 1,000 young adults that's not responsible is 1,000,000 adults, young adults that is responsible, who fighting these wars, who's working these jobs, who's paying bills, and cannot buy a responsible alcohol beverage because the limit the limit to the alcohol law is 21 to buy a drink in America, that's crazy. That's ludicrous. I don't have the answers, but I begin to have the thought and the mind presence. Rules are rules, folks. That's a rule that we all can nod our head to, like, yeah, I don't know. That ain't right. And a lot of us find ways to drink. We do. And a lot of us do it not responsibly either. A lot of us. But some of us do drink when we're not the proper age. And have done it for years. Some have done it for years. But folks, if you can go out and fight a war, put live ammunition in a pistol or assault rifle or a 50 caliber, or jump in and out of an airplane, a moving airplane, go overseas and fight people in a war that you have no contingency to it, that you're not respected for when you come home, but you can't buy a responsible alcohol beverage, that's a problem. So I'm going to leave that there, America. As well, I was saying early in the podcast, I'm going to exclude this. I'm not going to exclude, I'm going to exclude you in on this. I'm going to vote. Mr. Works is going to vote this year on a live candidate, on a responsible candidate, on a candidate most likely may not get it done or may get it done. But I done made up my mind. I'm going to be a really great, responsible adult to America, quote unquote. Right now, being responsible is being a little half-assed, if you ask me. We're allowing a guy, allegedly, start an insurrection on January 6, 2020. We allowing a guy over 40 convictions, a lot of indictments, allegedly, running for the United States presidency, the highest presidency in the world, the most powerful country that we all woke up to this morning. And we're going to go to bed to it. And someone's going to die to it. We allow this man to vote and to run. And to run a campaign. And to say whatever he wants to say. On the other side, we allowed this woman to be a state attorney general over in California. To have a track record that's a little off the wall. A little suspect. To be a vice president the last 4 years. To have words and say so on certain policies in the Democratic convention as well as the Democratic White House. But first and foremost, she's an African American woman. She's a queen by birth. Somebody's mother is somebody's daughter, for one. And is she fit to lead this most powerful nation in the world? Is she fit to ensure me as a black man, I'm talking about me in general as well as my sons who are men. Is she fit to be a general, a leader, a woman, a mother, a grandmother, as well as a sister in the White House? For me, I can't give you all those answers. But what I do know, dictatorship, I don't want. A person who has a list for his enemies and people he wants to fire, or she, I'm not with that. I'm not with that tick for tack information. Because we teach our kids to respect others, others respect you. And holding a grudge in the White House is something I think none of us really wants. It is too powerful for a position to have, too powerful for a place for that to go on to. I'm sure we all can agree on that, Democrat or Republican. So that's why, and those are some of the reasons, just some of the reasons, I have to vote. I want to vote. I need to vote on that source of information that I'm getting every day and tune into this mouth and this brain and this heart. In my heart, I feel we all need to choose a candidate that is there for us, not for their own utilities or purpose, or list, or get back, or backsliding. It is not the time, America, for politics in the White House. It's time for politicians to stand up for me and you. America, on that note, remember, vote responsibly for the person who is going to carry out the needs, the emergency, the understanding, the guidance, and not just promising, but the person who's going to respect the guidelines of being somebody at power and to be a leader for these United States of America. And white or black, you need to know, you need to feel, you need to see who is responsible to be your commander-in-chief in America today, and as well as tomorrow. And by saying those words, America, you need to know your vote will definitely count for the 2025 presidential election and for the inauguration of the 2025 presidential election. Trust and believe. The faith is with God. The voting is in your hands. That's all we know. Let's not leave a doubt in our eyes or our children's or our constituents or our friends and families or our podcasters or our politics, local and state leaders, as well as economy-driven bills, either lower or taxes or not. Food prices, food taxes, gas prices, water prices, clothing, home prices, rental prices, rent prices, we need them to be lowered as soon as possible. We are not surviving in America after the year 2025. None of us, not you, not me, on the salary that we have today. Trust me, if the wrong person, man or woman, get in the White House with the wrong agendas and the wrong dictatorship. So America, from the words of Jay Works in this great podcast, #1 in New York State, and soon we are sweeping the nation. God bless America, and go out and vote responsibly.